Hi, my name is Christopher Jacklin. I'm a teacher originally from Canada, but I've been living and working in Sweden for the past 5 years, and I've just finished authoring my first children's book titled Little Dreamer Girl. So the reason I wrote Little Dreamer Girl is because I had a conversation with one of my students when I was teaching a few years ago. And we were talking about how I was doing a lot of travels myself when I had holidays in the summer. And she told me how envious she was that I could go out and explore the world, and that she also wanted to go out and do those things and see what the world is like and what it has to offer. And I told her, of course, you can do that when you're a little bit older and you have a little bit more money, it's not a problem. But she told me that she had been asking friends and she hadn't found any of her friends who were interested in it at all. And she was a bit scared to kind of go out and explore on her own. So I thought I wanted to write a story that had a strong female protagonist who would inspire students and young children, like the student I had spoken to have the curiosity and have the confidence to go out and explore the world. So the story follows a young girl named Matilda who comes from a small village in the woods, and everybody in her village is content, basically living their day-to-day lives, and they have no interest in what's going on outside of their small village. But Matilda does. Every day from school, when she goes from school to her hometown, she sees this large mountain past the forest on the horizon, and she's very curious to know what's on the other side. And she talks to her friends and her family, and no one seems to know, and nobody wants to know. They're scared, they're not interested, they don't have the curiosity. So she has this curiosity to go and see what's happening, but she's also a bit scared to go alone. But one day she inadvertently finds herself off the beaten path and in the forest for the first time. And she's obviously very scared, but she quickly realizes that life outside of her village, outside of what she knows, isn't that bad. It's exciting, and there's a lot of great things to see and do. So she has a quick journey to the mountaintop, and she meets characters that are both good and bad. She learns new things, she learns lessons, and she finally gets to go to the top of the mountain to see what's on the other side. And when she comes home after her journey, she has this kind of renewed sense of curiosity and drive, and she realizes the beauties that the world holds, and she can't wait to go back and explore further. So now that the writing is complete and the illustrations have been done by a good friend of mine, Nora Muller, what I'm looking for is a publisher who is interested and specializes in children's literature, who also shares the same values that the book is trying to promote, to hopefully bring this book to life. Alright, so this is actually my favorite one. It's from the end of the story, when she comes home from the journey, and she's kind of reflecting back on like what's happened. This is also one of my favorite pictures as well. It's some of the characters that she meets at the start, two frogs. They teach her how to play the drums, which is something she's never done before. We were thinking about putting this picture actually on the front page. It's when Matilda finally reaches the mountaintop, and she's kind of looking out over the sunset, over what's behind the mountain finally. And even though it's not really described what she sees, what is described is that she all of a sudden realized how much there is out there to explore and all of the exciting things that there is. So we wanted to have kind of this like a bit of a mystical feel. It's a bit unknown, but the reader knows that yes, it's good things out there. The book is targeted towards young adults or younger children who can read it together with their parents. I'm very, very excited about this project, and I hope that with your help, we can inspire the next generation of curious and confident world travelers.